What's up, gamers? Welcome to Gamer Rant. While everyone is talking about PS5 specs, I thought I would create this here video, alright? Basically, expansion packs versus season pass versus DLC. Which one is better? Obviously, this is my opinion. If you ultimately disagree, you can always tell me in the comments below or even do your own video response. Yeah, that's right. I don't believe those things are still dead. People just don't do them a lot. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a quick opinion, and then you can watch the video if you want my full-length opinion, alright? Expansion packs are far superior. Everything else, well, is just money-grubbing bullshit.
Why isn't it in the fucking game without a pre-order? You're blind? Dude, fucking fanboyism.
Microtransactions and
DRM. Downloadable content.
So I actually was recently in a debate about mostly expansion packs and DLC. So basically I had brought the subject up, at least expansion packs, to say that it was better than DLC. The individual I was debating said, well, expansion packs is DLC. So then I was like, okay, I gotcha. By the literal definition of the words downloadable content, yes, an expansion pack can and is downloadable content. But when we look at it into the context of gaming and the early creation of DLC and what DLC became by the definition of what developers released, no, an expansion pack is not downloadable content. All right? So everything has a domino effect. So we look at the history of downloadable content when it was originally announced. A lot of gamers, including myself, got pretty excited because we thought that it was basically going to be the equivalent of an expansion pack for the PC. All right? Is that ultimately what we got? No. This is what it ended up being. This is what it felt like. Oh, I'm going to use Mortal Kombat as an example. You take all of the hidden characters in a Mortal Kombat game, all right? All the hidden characters, whether they're hidden beside some kind of button press cheat code, take your pick, all right? Whether they're hidden because all you got to do is play the game on hard, easy, medium, take your pick, all right? You just played the game or found something in the game or did something at a specific time within the game and you unlock something in the game, all right? They took all of that and they put it behind a paywall. That's pretty much what DLC ended up being. Everything that you loved about a game, the secrets, the Easter eggs, the hidden stuff, so on and such forth, you now got to pay for. Not so much Easter eggs, but that just kind of popped in my head. Pretty much just all the extra stuff that you could actually use and play, so on and such forth in the game. Now, DLC, like all things, evolved over time, but unfortunately not in a good context. We saw the introduction to pre-order DLC, microtransactions, collector edition DLC, exclusive DLC, which usually was like Best Buy or GameStop exclusive DLC. You had to pre-order the game from them in order to get said exclusive. We also have Day 1 DLC, which ironically has become so used to by gamers that they probably have actually forgotten the terminology Day 1 DLC. It's pretty much any kind of DLC, even pre-order DLC that was released Day 1. Ironically, Day 1 DLC started before pre-order DLC, so there's that one for you. That's probably why gamers have gotten so used to Day 1 DLC, is because it evolved into pre-order DLC. Now, the main differences between an expansion pack and DLC is frivolous little things that you can download that really amount to absolutely nothing. That's pretty much the context of it. An expansion pack expands upon the world and the characters, so on and such forth. They can be anywhere from, 8 hours, 5 hours, all the way up to almost a complete 40-hour type gameplay, all right? Just as long as the original game. So there's that. So that's the inherent difference. Now, when we throw in, because everything evolved, so real quickly, DLC evolved. It started on consoles. We got all the pre-order, microtransactions, yada, yada, yada. And then it started to infect the PC gaming. And then PC gaming became infected with all this loaded bullshit, just like the home consoles. But then developers started to release what we could call real expansion packs as DLC. Now, those were things that gamers didn't mind. because that's what they originally hoped DLC was going to be. That's not what they inherently got. So people, even myself, are more open and more supportive of what we would call real expansion packs, or even a mini expansion pack. A real expansion pack or a full expansion pack would be like Undead Nightmare for Red Dead Redemption. A mini expansion pack would be the Ryder Wright campaign for Dead Island. I'm pretty sure it was Dead Island. He was the generic villain in that game, all right? It basically took a character, and we expand upon the character, so on and so forth. So we're expanding upon the story and the world within these expansion packs. And to me, that is far more satisfying as a gamer, as someone who enjoys stories, than, well, the bullshit DLC that we get. Now, we throw in season passes because everything evolves. So season pass is basically taking expansion packs and bullshit DLC and mashing them together and basically releasing them over a short period of time after the game was ultimately released. And you may not know exactly what you're going to get in a season pass, but you'll have at least an idea of what you're going to get in a season pass before the game even comes out. And then after the game comes out, you'll probably have a more definitive idea of what you're going to get. Now, this evolution, all right, is, for me as a gamer, detrimental. As a gamer, I was really hoping that downloadable content was going to be like an expansion pack on the home console. But unfortunately it wasn't, and unfortunately it also began to infect PC gaming. And what this ultimately comes down to is money. Now, one could argue, well, an expansion pack is just about money, but here's the difference between the three categories: online pass and DLC and an expansion pack. The developers decide to release the expansion pack. All right, even if a publisher tells the developer, "Hey, we want you to do an expansion pack," a lot of gamers wouldn't see that as something negative. All right, as long as it was a good expansion pack, story-wise, character-wise, so on and so forth. Now, when we look at the other side, Season Pass and DLC, all right, this is something that publishers can make and force developers to do. Why? Because of money. So there's an inherent difference between the intention behind the two, all right? We could still say that money is part of the expansion pack, but I would dare say that it plays a smaller part than a Season Pass or regular DLC and microtransactions, because publishers ultimately can force the developer to do this. A good example of this is the White Knight Chronicles, which was developed by Level 5, and I forget who the fuck published it, all right? But that game had a total of over $200 combined DLC and microtransactions, and a good majority of it was microtransactions. Now, a lot of people enjoy Level 5 games. They're the developers of like Rogue Galaxy, Dark Cloud, the Professor Layton games, Neo no Kuni, all right? So they're relatively familiar. So people at the time basically got a hold of Level 5 and they were like, what the fuck, man? And then Level 5, hey, this was out of our hands. This was a requirement from the publisher that we do this. So we were forced to do it. It was part of the contract, part of the deal, in order for them to publish the game on said console, which was the PlayStation at the time. I don't recall. I don't think it came out on the PC. I do know it didn't come out on the Xbox 360. But anyway, that gives you an idea of the difference between these three categories. Is that two of them are and can be forced by the publisher for the sole reason to make money. And the other side, although the publisher can be like, hey, we want you to make this, yes, it's probably about money, but at least there's more context to it than, well, the bullshit over here. So when I look at it in context, I look at it and I say, you know what? Downloadable content is bullshit. An online pass is bullshit. All right. To me, an expansion pack and a mini expansion pack is a far more satisfying as a gamer than the other bullshit. All right. So there's pretty much that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video in some fashion or form. And remember, gamers, if you're not voicing your thoughts and concerns about the bullshit in gaming, you just might be a part of the motherfucking problem. And of course, if you disagree with me, you can let me know in the comments, do a video response yourself. I'll see you on the next video.